All right. Good morning or good afternoon, traders. Today is Friday, the 13th, March 13th, 2026. This is You've Got Options for Income Navigator. We're going to start off with a couple of charts here. As I had mentioned before, we have the screen split into four. Upper left is SPX. This is cash S&P 500 index. Right below it is the CL, which is the crude oil futures contract. Next to it, on the bottom right, is /VX. This is VIX futures contract. And right above it is the /ES. This is E-mini S&P 500 futures contract. And as I have been saying last couple of meetings now, right, I think right now the price of oil has a lot of influence on the price of what the market is doing. And what the market is doing is based on what volatility is doing. So it's safe to say that, as I move the mouse, this is intraday, right? This is a 5-day, 5-minute chart. We can back out and kind of find similar behavior in these charts. We have, as I move my mouse, right, you should also see the cursor movement on other charts. As I move my mouse, right, this is regular trading hours today, right? You can see that as the price of oil started to go up, well, this is oil futures contract. The price of oil futures contract started to go up, right? Volatility in the market started to increase. And as volatility rose, S&P 500 futures contract came down. And then intraday, right, this is around 2 o'clock, right? So at around 2 o'clock, you can see that oil started to roll over. And I don't know if it's going to roll over and go down, right? But we see the price of oil went from 99.2 down to 97.3, right? So we had about a 2-point drop in the price of oil. We see that volatility came down with it, and S&P had a chance to bounce. Right now, what we're seeing is oil is really not moving a whole lot, but volatility is ticking higher, and S&P is kind of pulling back a little bit right now. So volatility drives S&P 500, and I think that the price of oil right now is what's driving the volatility. Nothing much has changed. I'm going to switch over to the daily chart of SPY, other than, and I have outlined several areas where I would expect to find buyers and sellers, aka support and resistance. We have traded in the range for quite some time. We identify higher end of the range, lower end of the range. And as I said, we break this range, there's a pretty good chance that we're going to go into the next range, which should be technically about the same size as the previous range. So the previous range was about 20 points on SPY or 200 points on SPX, 200 S&P points. So 200 points from 67.50, right, on SPX will put us down to about 65.50. That's the range I expect to trade in. However, one thing that makes things different this time is that volatility, the VIX, is at 27. So when the VIX is at 27, right, this is historically elevated VIX reading. This is not normal. Normal is somewhere closer to 18. Right now we're at 27. We see that there are times where VIX goes up and it goes above the range, and then it comes back down. It goes up and above the range and comes back down. Right now we are outside of the range. I can't guarantee you, but I can say one thing with certainty, that at some point, we don't know when, but at some point, VIX is going to revert back towards 20, right? But for right now, while the VIX is at 27, the market is very nervous, and chances are we are going to overshoot any kind of support and resistance level, right? So while we're looking at potential now, what was support now to become resistance, right? we can easily put in a short squeeze and overshoot this level to the upside. Or if we roll over here and we expect some kind of support based on price action from the past, right? This is where buyers stepped in and sellers ran out. We would expect something similar to take place. But if the VIX is at 30 or higher, there's a pretty good chance that we're going to slice right through this support level like hot knife through butter. Right? We may overshoot to the downside, get everybody short, saying, oh my God, we're probably going to go and retest last year's April's low, and then the market's going to reverse hard and rip everybody's face off. That's what the market does when volatility is at 27, 30, 35 or higher. Right? So this is not a normal market. I wouldn't get too crazy with these levels on these charts, but just for reference, just to understand, right, what the price is doing, I think it's good to have these levels, and I'm looking for a reaction around these levels. I'm not going to go all in short or all in long based on these levels. What I'm looking for, if I have some sort of an idea, or if I have some sort of a bias, bullish or bearish, I want to see how price acts around these levels for confirmation rather than as a leading indicator to go long or short. Another thing I want to point out, and this is something that I have been looking at, was the performance of QQQ relative to SPY. Right, in the last couple of days, this is more of a risk off. So risk off as the market is now pushing lower, right? I think this is more bearish than anything else, because before, as the market was slowly breaking down below the previous support level on SPY, right, QQQ was actually stronger than SPY, which kind of led me to believe that there's some bullish tone in the market. Right now, we're seeing QQQ underperforming SPY, so this sell-off could potentially have follow-through. Right, so this is something that I'm looking at. I will post and, I'll update these charts with any levels, and, if there's something actionable, I would definitely let you guys know. Earlier today, I looked at the percent of S&P 500 companies that are currently trading below their 50-day moving average. If you are using TradingView, I think the ticker is S5F, and then you just choose from the list. So here you have S&P stocks above 50-day. I do not buy data from TradingView, so this is a end of the day data. So this is as of yesterday, and I'm pretty sure today this number is a little bit lower. I do have a custom indicator built in the Thinkorswim that has a label on my chart that gives me the number. It's pretty close. I think today's number maybe a little bit lower, but the significance of this was that we are at about the same number or the same percent of S&P 500 companies below their 50-day moving average as we saw back in November, right? And if you look at the chart of SPY where we were in November, right, this was a tradable bottom. Now, I'm not saying that we're putting in the bottom today, but I think we're closer to the bottom today than we were yesterday, if that makes sense. I know it sounds funky, but I'm just looking for clues, for signs where the market may be becoming a little bit too oversold and we're maybe ready for a bounce. I'm also looking, I can't see this on TradingView, I have this in TOS. How far away is the price from 21 EMA, right? And then we're always going to move, right? We're going to oscillate. We're going to go up maybe 2% above the 21 EMA and then come back down. Sometimes we go down or sideways, wait for the moving average to catch up, right? This is a form of a correction, right? As we can correct through time or through price. Correcting through price would be price moving towards right? Right now, let's say we're 2% or maybe a little bit more than 2% away from the 21 EMA, right? We can stay down here and wait for this yellow line to kind of catch up before we continue lower, or we go down about maybe 2.25% away from the 21 EMA, and then the price goes back up towards this moving average, and that's a correction as well. So right now we are just over 2% away from 21 EMA, and not to say that we're putting in the bottom today, but very often, right? And I looked at in the last year, I don't think there were too many times where the price gotten away from the 21 EMA more than maybe 2.25%, right? So this is not extreme, but it's rather unusual based on what has been happening in the last year, right? And the last year has been a pretty strong uptrend, so you can also have to take that into account. Right, clearly down here last April we were way below. I think we were, as much as almost maybe even 10% under the 21 EMA, right, which was an outlier move, so to speak. But normally, when we see the price get away about 2.5% away from the 21 EMA, doesn't mean the price is going to go back up towards this moving average, but the price may just slow, right? Maybe we'll chop a couple of days, maybe 3-4 days, and wait for this falling moving average to catch up to the price before we continue in whichever way we're going to go, right? So we may be starting to become a little too stretched to the downside. I wouldn't be surprised to see some kind of a counter trend move similar to what we saw on Monday, right? And overall, this is not a bullish price action, especially in the last, right? This is from early March, so last couple of weeks, right? This move lower has become a little bit more aggressive. We see these big candles, these reversal candles, right? And this was a pretty good one. We opened lower. This is March 2nd, opened lower, finished the day near the highs, or off the highs, but definitely higher than where we opened, which was kind of bullish, right? We could not take out moving averages, which is kind of a signal that we're not all clear. The following day we opened lower, yet we were able to close off the lows. We didn't take out previous day high, right, which is kind of a yellow flag, but we definitely opened lower and traded lower, and then the buyers were able to push and close above the open, right? The volume was there. This was pretty bullish. We saw a small follow through, and yet again, we weren't able to take out this swing high, which was kind of a yellow flag. We also got stuck with these now rolling over moving averages, right? So not all clear, but price action was definitely leaning a little bit more bullish. And then 2 days later, the market's rolling over again, right? On Monday of this week, we opened down, right? Oil went through the roof. Oil volatility went through the roof, but SPY was able to recover and close higher, putting this bullish engulfing candle right over the Friday's candle, the last week Friday's candle, which was pretty bullish. Volume was above average. 2 days later, right, we can't get anything going to the long side, and now the market's rolling over again. Would I get short here? Going into the weekend, I know the market's a little nervous. We don't know what might happen. Can oil go to 150 over the weekend? It can, right? So there's a lot of uncertainty. Market does not like uncertainty, and that is the reason why, the market is weak right now going into the weekend. If the world doesn't end, perhaps, right, there may be some positive headlines. If that happens, I wouldn't be surprised to see some kind of a move in the other direction and counter trend moves, right? We can call this a very short term bearish trend where we're just making series of lower highs and lower lows. So these bear trends tend to have very fast and furious counter trend moves, right? But in order for me to get more bullish, we would need to, well, at least take out some key moving averages, which are now down sloping, and we need to at least get through 687, 689, and potentially close above 690 on SPY. Anything below that would be another chance to sell into strength and possibly reload on a pullback. I would not be short here. I think getting short, you want to get short from higher levels if you are going to play this downtrend here. All right.